Welcome back to the Real Nykel YouTube channel. I appreciate you for sliding through. I live stream from 9 to 12 every day. Enjoy the reaction.
What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new to my channel, welcome to my channel. My name is Tony Brian, and in today's video we'll be discussing the rise and fall and rise again of Victoria's Secret and the Victoria's Secret fashion show. Alright, I decided to switch out my mic, so hopefully this looks good and sounds even better. I know you guys were like complaining about like me hand holding my little lavalier mic. I didn't like how it looked under my shirt. I mean, this shirt would have been perfect for it, but whatever. I decided to pull back my old mic that I used to use all the time, and I stopped using. I hope you guys are liking the look. I decided to go all out for this video. I'm pretending to be a Victoria's Secret angel like we all want to be once upon a time in our lives. No, we didn't. So I stopped at Party City and I picked up a halo and some wings, and it just makes me super excited for Halloween. I am over summer. I'm trying not to say that because I know in just a few months I'm gonna be missing summer and all this hot weather that is going on. But as of now,
I ain't gonna cap, bro. This year has been going fucking fast as fuck. It's already fucking, like, August is tomorrow, bro. August is literally tomorrow. This summer is going fast as fuck. Hey, we literally got shit out of tomorrow. We got 4 more months until the end, almost the end of the year. 5 more months till the end of the year, bro. Like, 2025 is literally in 5 more months. That's just fucking wild, bro. Jesus, that's crazy. Anywho, oh, hold on. Excuse me. You know why we crack babies? Because we born in the 80s and 88.
I am so ready for the cooler months, especially living here in Georgia. Before we get into today's video, please be sure you guys are following me on all my social media accounts. I am on TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, and join my book club, The Reading Circle, where we are going to be reading a new book each month. If you're trying to get more into your reading bag, or you are just a bookworm girly in general, or man.
I'm allergic to cats.
Please join my Patreon. The link to every single social media website circle, where we are going to be reading a new book each month. If you're trying to get more into your reading bag, or you are just a bookworm girly in general, or man, please join my Patreon. The link to every single social media website, including the book club, will be linked down below. Now let's get into a little bit of positivity. Today's quote of the day is, I am thankful for—
Bro, don't do that. Don't do that, bro. Cause I literally just got done fucking yawning and shit, and don't do that. Please don't do that, bro.
For this new day, another chance of fresh beginning.
Facts.
Today's verse of the day is Psalms chapter 42, verse 1, and it reads, As the deer pants for streams of water, so my soul pants for you, my God. And without further ado, you guys, let's get straight into today's video. Victoria's Secret. I am sure a lot of us, especially,
are still trying to figure out what's that secret. I don't know. What is it? It beats me. What's the secret? Hopefully we get it. I mean, I'm a guy, so I don't know what the secret is. I've been trying to figure it out type shit, but not saying I've been trying to figure it out, but a nigga been curious. I think everybody curious. Like, come on now, like, what's the secret? The secret. So maybe, hopefully, we figure out the secret.
Actually, millennials and Gen Zers, maybe the beginning of Gen Z, knew how impactful Victoria's Secret was, not only as a store, but also as an entire brand. When you literally think of the term supermodel, who are the first few people that come into your brain? You're probably thinking Naomi Campbell, Tyra Banks, Giselle Bundchen, Kendall Jenner, Adriana Lima, heck, Chanel Iman. But what do all of these women have in common?
And I couldn't even think of any. Tyra Banks. What's up? Naomi Campbell. Shit.
These are all women that were prior Victoria's Secret models. Being a model for the Victoria's Secret fashion show or being a model for Victoria's Secret in general was kind of seen as a peak in your career. Every young model aspired to be a part of Victoria's Secret.
It's always been one of my goals that I want to work with Victoria's Secret. I want to be a Victoria's Secret angel.
Last week, I walked in the Victoria's Secret fashion show. It was something that I've always dreamed of.
I think becoming an angel is like becoming an official role model for young women.
But what exactly is Victoria's Secret, and where does Victoria's Secret come from?
What is her
including
secret?
The start of their fashion.
What's her secret?
Let's get into it.
What's the secret? Maybe it's because I'm leaning back. Maybe I need to like...
So a man by the name of Roy Raymond was the founder of Victoria's Secret. One day, he decided to go shop.
Is that the secret? That a female store was created by a nigga? Excuse me, a white male? Is that the secret? That can't be the secret. That can't be it. Come on now, that can't be it. That can't be it.
Shopping for some lingerie for his wife. When he got there though, everything in the store that he saw was either outdated or just pure ugly. So it wasn't only that he wasn't exactly turned on by the lingerie that was in these stores, he also felt very uncomfortable being in the stores in general. He felt like a pervert being in a store filled with these fluorescent lights and just being surrounded by a bunch of women undergarments. Roy quickly found out that he was not the only man that felt this way. Other men felt this way too. So why not create a store that made men feel comfortable shopping for their wives and girlfriends?
Hold on. Stop it. So you made a store in which men are uncomfortable being with their girlfriend shopping for panties and lingerie and undergarment because of the fact that you were in a store and you were afraid and thought that you looked at weird because you're shopping for your girl for undergarments. You felt weird doing that. That's... Make it make sense, good sir. Make it make sense, good sir. Cause niggas still go to fucking Victoria's Secret and they still feel weird. Actually, I don't know too many niggas who go to Victoria's Secret.
This horrid experience led him to brew up an idea that would make history in the lingerie industry. So Roy immediately started looking for financing in order to launch this business idea. He got $40,000 from a bank loan and then an additional $40,000 from his in-laws. His in-laws seem to be very friendly. Hopefully I find some in-laws like that one day. With this generous loan, not only from the bank, but also his in-laws, in 1977, Roy came up with Victoria's Secret. Roy opened his first store in a shopping center in Palo Alto, California. The original concept of Victoria's Secret was meant to adhere to males. The ambiance and aesthetic of the store was meant to emulate the 19th century. So wood accents, darker furniture, darker lighting, silk curtains, and just other aspects of the Victorian era. The first year of Victoria's Secret, they managed to get $500,000 in revenue. And within 5 years, Raymond was able to open up 3 additional stores. By 1982, though he did manage to have 4 stores open at this point, Victoria's Secret was on the brink of bankruptcy. This is when Ray got into contact with somebody that came up with a multi-billion-dollar plan in order to save Victoria's Secret. That man was Leslie Wexner. So Leslie already had a very successful brand called The Limited, and he managed to open 188 stores at this point. So clearly the business was thriving and was worth about $50 million. Now Leslie definitely saw the potential successful in the Victoria's Secret brand, but he knew that something needed to be shifted. That shift being catering the store to what women want, not what men want, because women were the target audience. So in 1982, Leslie purchased Victoria's Secret for $1 million from Roy. He felt that the lingerie sold at Victoria's Secret should be stylish, but also affordable so women would want to wear it every day. The end goal from Leslie's point of view was to offer women access to a glamorous world that they could achieve without having to go to luxury lingerie brands. He literally transformed the entire store. He made the store more elegant, pink, flirty, fun, thriving, everything that a woman wants to be in.
I get it now. I should have waited to talk. So Roy, you went out of business, you headed to bankruptcy and you got bought out. So instead of accomplishing your shit, which you did, for like a couple years, you accomplished it. You had to go back to what you're trying to go against. Men going into, Victoria's Secret pink, being uncomfortable. Damn. R.I.P.
Feel. And then he also spruced up the catalog that was already existing. This time around, he had the catalog featuring professional models that were stunning and would have men drooling over. And a win is a win. The women were wearing the lingerie and the men were purchasing the catalogs. So by catering to women, it also opened up a door for men as a business. And less than 15 years later, in 1995, Victoria's Secret had 670 stores and was worth a whopping $1.9 billion.
Jesus.
So if you guys are curious whatever happened to Roy, he had a very sad ending to his story of Victoria's Secret and his own life. So Roy did remain president of Victoria's Secret, but it was only for 1 year after selling it. After resigning from being the president of Victoria's Secret, he later went on to start off a new brand. He founded a high-end catalog and retailer for children company called My Child's Destiny, but unfortunately, he ended up filing for bankruptcy in 1986. Roy then went on to get a divorce from his wife, and people are saying this is when his life really fell apart. And unfortunately, in 1993, Roy sadly jumped to his death on the Golden Gate Bridge. Though Leslie was the one that really catapulted Victoria's Secret and brought it to a new height, he wouldn't have seen that vision if it wasn't for Roy. Roy saw there was a missing piece in the lingerie industry, thus creating Victoria's Secret. So let's give Roy his accolades. And may he rest in peace. So along with the catalogs, the new concept of the stores, the quote-unquote hot and seductress models, the brand decided to come up with a fashion show. And this really propelled the growth of the company even further.
There are some experiences you only dream about.
Bro.
And there are those you didn't know you needed.
Fuck out of here.
At this point, Victoria's Secret was the biggest lingerie company in the entire world. But by the late 90s and the early 2000s, it became an ultimate global sensation. They began showing their elaborate and gorgeous collections on supermodels like Heidi Klum, Tyra Banks, and Naomi Campbell, just to name a few. And these women would be...
I want to see my beautiful black women models. I don't want to see them white sticks out here, bruh. Y'all know what I love. My beautiful black women, bro. I love my beautiful black queens, bro. I swear to God. This is... So I gotta fix this shit, because it ain't, my dress is getting longer, bro. I think y'all can see. My dress is getting fucking longer, bro. But with it be getting longer, it's getting more and more annoying. But I love my hair, so I've been wanting my dress to dread longer. So see, like when I do that with my dreads, bro, like it starts pulling my cap up, bro. Like I should have worn my wave cap. Like it looks weird. Anywho, yes, I want to see my beautiful black queens. I don't want to see the white She-devils.
He featured on the Victoria's Secret fashion show that was aired live on television. At this point, the fashion show wasn't just solely based on the lingerie. It literally became a cultural phenomenon, with literally millions of people tuning in just to watch these gorgeous women walk down the runway wearing these gorgeous, gorgeous lingerie pieces. You would start seeing celebrities, photographers, supermodels, all these people. It was such an elaborate event. And with all these people being guests of the Victoria's Secret fashion show, it was the ultimate must-watch show for several decades. Now, despite the glitz, the glamour, the hype of Victoria's Secret fashion shows, the brand's sales began decreasing between 2016 to 2018, just a little over 20 years from the very first Victoria's Secret fashion show. According to CNBC, sales went from $8.1 billion in 2018 to $7.5 billion in 2019, and those sales decreased even more in 2020, taking a whopping downturn to only making $5.4 billion.
Around the vid, because niggas was in the house, they was seeing they bitch every day, and no matter what, they just wasn't fuck with it. They saw that bitch so much to where they couldn't even miss them. Even if you put on lingerie, bitch, I don't like you. And you know you don't like me. Don't try to sweet talk me and shit. You make me mad. And we ain't working. We ain't got the money to go. Where you get that lingerie at? You spending my money. You're not an essential worker. I'm not an essential worker. We gotta save this. My savings. And you spend it on lingerie. Just for me to rip it off. Like, for real? It's because of the vid, bro.
So every year, the sales just went more and more down. Victoria's Secret's last fashion show was in 2018, and the company announced the cancellation of the shows in 2019. But the question is why? Why were sales dropping, and why was the fashion show canceled? But before we get into those points, here's a word from today's sponsor. Are you constantly feeling overwhelmed with meal prepping and grocery shopping? Nope. Well, let HelloFresh take the stress out of Guys, please go check HelloFresh out if you're looking for a new variety of meals to try and new recipes to explore. That food was so good. Oh my God, I'm still thinking about it right now. That was like one of my favorite times cooking ever. It was really, really cool. I didn't even know I can make Indian curry until HelloFresh came upon my life. So that was a fun part. So the #1 fall of Victoria's Secret and Victoria's Secret fashion shows definitely has to be body image. When Victoria's Secret fashion show first launched back in 1995, we were in a way different time. We have spoken about how unhinged the body standards were back in the early 2000s and the 90s. People that were a size 6 were considered to be fat. Magazines and tabloids were constantly photoshopping images, taking pictures of celebrities when they are not posed. Overly editing magazine covers, shaming people for having eating disorders, though we literally pushed them to go ahead and have eating disorders, popularized the term coke chic, pushed diet culture, fat phobia, constantly made fat jokes in movies. It was just a very dark time. So with this, and with Victoria's Secret being literally the epitome of beauty, if you guys remember me stating in the beginning of this video, the new founder of Victoria's Secret, Leslie Wexner, wanted Victoria's Secret to be a fantasy for women. So in order to orchestrate this fantasy, you have to push out unrealistic and almost unachievable beauty standards and body standards. Hence why these Victoria's Secret models were the epitome of perfection. So Victoria's Secret in general would push out every toxic beauty standard and body standard out there. These women had very strict diets and regimens. They worked out a lot. More specifically, did a lot of cardio. So running, jogging, walking, swimming, cycling. Basically, they were exercising several times a day. Their entire career was based upon how their bodies looked. So the traditional person that works a 9 to 5 or works just any job in general besides being a supermodel is not going to have that much time in their day to work out as much as these girls did. You have to burn a lot more calories than you're intaking. So they're already intaking a little bit of food a day. I'm sure they're probably eating very clean diets. So maybe eggs, avocados, maybe protein, because I feel like their entire goal was to stay lean, not really gain muscle necessarily. They wanted abs, but it wasn't really to like gain muscle and be strong. They wanted to be very petite and lean, so probably Pilates as well. But let's just say their bodies looked the way that they did because they had a very different lifestyle than the traditional person.
Everyone wants to know your diet and workout routine.
So basically, I wake up in the morning, I have 32 ounces of room temperature water, 1 lemon squeezed in, that like flushes everything out from the night. And I have 32 ounces of cold pressed celery juice. And the celery is really alkalizing for your system. I have this medical medium smoothie, heavy metal detox smoothie.
What is in it?
Blueberries, banana, barley grass, spirulina, fresh orange juice.
And why do you say heavy metals? You talking?
That looks like straight oil. Now, she had me at the room temperature water with a little bit of lemon. She had me at that. Do I do that personally? No. I do the room temperature. But, that celery water bullshit and that metal shit, like, you think you're a robot or something? Like straight oil, dog.
This stuff pulls out the
and
metals.
it has dulse seaweed, and cilantro. So it pulls out any heavy metals, and we're all exposed to heavy metals every day. And then I'll have my coffee. I love the way it tastes. I don't necessarily love the way it makes me feel. Like, I feel like I'll get energized and then I'll be like, crash. Moving my body pretty much 6 days a week. At a minimum, an hour walk.
So we changed the color to yellow to make it more energetic and attention grabbing. What do you think?
I know one major thing that I recently heard was that the women would not drink any liquids 12 hours before one of the Victoria's Secret fashion shows. So the importance of looking good was above being dehydrated. That's how serious it was in their world. So I say this all to say, people began seeing the very much toxic body and beauty standards that were portrayed upon the models and were portrayed towards their audiences. Now, growing up, I was always very petite. I was super, super skinny. So I don't think necessarily it affected me watching the Victoria's Secret fashion shows at like 7 and 8, because I used to watch them with my sister. I just kind of wanted to be those women. However, I did not realize, like, when you get older, you gain more weight, so it's harder to keep that weight off. I'm comparing my 8-year-old body to like these women that are 24 that are probably the same size as me. But I wasn't sitting and looking at how much work and effort they put into looking the way that they did. But there also were probably other girls, young girls, that weighed a little bit more than me and were like, how can I get to that size? So they would adopt unhealthy eating habits and routines in order to look like a Victoria's Secret model, because these women were considered the epitome of beauty. I think also with the body positivity movement brewing up in like about 2010, 2011, when people were wondering, hey, why can't we see more diversity in terms of size? What is going on? Why is it that the only thing that's considered beautiful is super skinny? I think this social movement encouraged and pushed the acceptance of all body types, and people were not understanding why there was only one particular body type that was promoted by Victoria's Secret, and that was something that was no longer acceptable like it once was back in 2002, 2003. So the Victoria's Secret fashion show and Victoria's Secret as a brand were called out for not accepting all body types and only pushing one type of body. Another reason for the fall of Victoria's Secret, I would say, had to do with lack of diversity. If you look at the Victoria's Secret fashion shows, there are mostly white women. Not just mostly white women, but white women with blonde hair and blue eyes. But overall, white women in general were promoted mostly, and if you did see a woman of color, they were lighter in skin tone in terms of, I guess, like the black color palette. They were light skin, if you will, or racially ambiguous. You didn't really see black women. So when people started complaining about this and noticing this, they then decided to switch it up. But of course, y'all know, when it comes to ignorance, it's just so overly displayed in a lot of these concepts. They will be like, okay, y'all want a black person in the show? I'm gonna give you guys the darkest skinned black woman that ever existed. They always have to go from one extreme to the next. And of course, I'm so happy that those darker skinned black women are being celebrated, but they're not going to bring in the other umbrellas of blackness. Have y'all ever noticed that, especially when it comes to supermodels? They either have to go from one extreme to the next. And of course, I'm so happy that those darker
beautiful right there. Sexy. Yes.
Skin black women are being celebrated, but they're not going to bring in the other umbrellas of blackness. Have y'all ever noticed that, especially when it comes to supermodels? They either have a white supermodel or they have a very, very dark skinned supermodel. It's rare you see like a woman that is like my color or a little bit darker than me, or even an Indian woman that has like skin color similar to mine. They always have to go like super dark skin. And once again, y'all, I'm glad that my darker skinned sisters are being represented, but it's like, why do y'all always feel the need to go to one extreme to the next? I just don't understand that component. There's so many different variations and colors of black. Always feel the need to go to one extreme to the next. I just don't understand that component. There's so many different variations and colors of black women, and black women that are not.
Which I love about black women. I love about black people, and I will constantly say that. What do I love about black people? We have different shapes. Sorry, that's people in general. We have different shades of black. Different shades of black, and they're all fucking beautiful. I love all the shades of black. I love all the shades of my beautiful black women who are biological women. You know. Sorry, I look over here because this is my other screen where I'll show my chat, but ain't nobody chatting. I was just looking deep into your eyes, into your soul. I love all my beautiful black, biological queens, as in females. Anyway, back to the...
Just light skin. There are in-betweeners as well, is my point. So with lack of diversity and body image, y'all know Gen Z does not play that, okay? Gen Z is super, super woke. They caught the BS and they were like, this is not okay. Why aren't you as like a woman that is like my color or a little bit darker than me, or even an Indian woman that has like skin color similar to mine? They always have to go like super dark skin. And once again, y'all, I'm glad that my darker skin sisters are being represented, but it's like, why do y'all always feel the need to go to one extreme to the next? I just
represented. Maybe she just said it weird. Represented it. No, represented. I don't know. Who cares?
Just don't understand that component.
I thought it was funny.
They're representing every size.
I hope the Victoria's Secret fashion shows never come back. They honestly deserve to be canceled. The industry already has an unrealistic standard of beauty and body, and when you look at Victoria's Secret, it's way worse. And there's no true diversity at Victoria's Secret. It's always the same. They won't hire transgender models. They won't hire plus-size models. Diversity does not play a role in their casting.
And also in terms of color, I would say the Black Lives Matter movement really kicked off in about 2012-ish and then ignited a bunch, as we all know, in 2020. This was around the time Trayvon Martin passed away in 2012 when it really kicked off. But I feel as if with the Black Lives Matter movement, it allowed other voices within other categories of racism and colorism and lack of diversity to come about. So people started calling out and noticing things that were displayed in media that did not represent Black people or people of color in general in the best light, and did not display them as being the epitome of beauty. Because when we talk about Victoria's Secret, we're talking about beauty, but when you only see white women, it's like, what are you really trying to say? And what I believe,
the exact same thing as an American Girl doll experiment. It's the exact same thing. When they would constantly make them white, blonde hair, blue-eyed Barbies. Everybody wanted them, but when they made the black ones, nobody wanted them. And they had a whole experiment about it. They said even the black girls was like, I want the white one, not the black one. The black one isn't. It's not Barbie. It's dirty. Exactly the same thing. I think we should make our own.
we've really nailed the head in the coffin had to do when Fenty had their very first fashion show. So Fenty had their very first fashion show on September 12th, 2018. And one thing that this fashion show was really praised for was their rate of diversity and inclusion. We saw women of
like, look at this. This is crazy, bro. She's the darkest, definitely. But look, like, you can obviously tell she's black. But she's, what the fuck is it called? Oh, bro, this is about to piss me off. Bro, what the? I'll think of it. I forgot what it's
Of
called.
all shades and all colors. We saw women of all sizes. It was such an inclusive yet still a fire show. About 2 months later, Victoria's Secret had their last fashion show, which they did not know at the time. And that's when people really noticed the difference of how diverse a Fenty fashion show was, and it was successful and incredible to watch, versus the Victoria's Secret fashion show that was once again very whitewashed and only showcased one size of a woman. But people were noticing, hey, this Fenty fashion show was just as good, if not better, and they included everybody. So Victoria's Secret, why can't you do the same? And I don't know how I completely forgot to say this part, but after all the backlash Victoria's Secret received, the executives in Victoria's Secret decided to stop the fashion shows due to the backlash, instead of incorporating changes that brands and fashion shows like Fenty implemented. And another reason why Victoria's Secret fell apart at this time, once again, we were talking about prior to 2018, was that Victoria's Secret only pushed sexy, not comfort. And at this time, once again, body positivity was on the rise and people were starting to be like, these clothes aren't even comfortable. They're just sexy. Where is the comfort? But that is what made Victoria's Secret, was that it was meant to uplift and fulfill a fantasy. So Victoria's Secret started to come out with more clothing that was more comfortable, but then people complained again. They wanted the old Victoria's Secret back. And this comes to the rise of Victoria's Secret again.
Can I get your autograph?
Yeah, sure.
It's Pam. What do you want in life, Kevin Warner?
I want to see. It's uncomfortable, yet it's sexy. But we want it comfortable. Fine. It's comfortable. It's not sexy. But we want it sexy. What the fuck? Like, what do y'all want from me? We want both.
So it's looking like Victoria's Secret fashion shows will be making a comeback very, very soon.
Oh,
As of
really?
now, there's no tentative date on when the show will be happening, but I want to talk about why I think the fashion show is making a comeback and why people were even yearning for it. So y'all remember how I just said that people were complaining about comfort, saying like, oh my god, there's more sex appeal than comfort, I don't like Victoria's Secret. Well, guess what? When Victoria's Secret decided to listen to y'all complaining, they got rid of sexy and gave y'all comfort. Y'all complained again. People were like, what happened to Victoria's Secret's original concept? We loved that it was sexy. We loved living this fantasy and pretending we were all Victoria's Secret angels as well.
Listen.
And here's the thing, bro. If y'all want sexy, it's gonna hurt. Beautiful, sexy, it hurts. And lingerie is for putting it on and having it on for like, I don't know, like 15 minutes and then get it ripped off by your man or your female. Depending on if you lesbian or straight. It's not meant for you to be, or at least like, I don't know, maybe you cooking a meal or something like that. I don't know. But it's not meant for you to just be lounging around all day and that shit. It's for sex appeal. You're supposed to be sexy and you're supposed to have sex. The outcome for you wearing that shit is sex. That's it, bro. Ain't supposed to be motherfucking comfortable, goofy ass little girl.
And I'm just gonna say it. I want the Victoria's Secret fashion show back. I don't care that it's toxic. I would look forward to every year, right before Thanksgiving, right before the holidays. I feel so just distraught about my body that I get an Equinox membership, I do a juice cleanse, I'm doing the lemon cayenne water, maybe taking some diuretics, I don't know, walking 20,000 steps a day, you name it, I did it. Have any of you tried the army diet? Because I did that in college. I loved this night. It was the night of the year for me. The Super Bowl of basic bitches everywhere. And now that it doesn't exist, I'm quite literally on like Victoria's Secret Angels TikTok, like nostalgia. And I'm like, let's bring it back. Like sometimes you need some toxicness, you know? It's good for you. It builds character. The world is getting too soft. I'm like, no, we need this. This needs to be our motivation. Thank you. Goodbye.
Victoria's Secret should have stayed a secret. I'm not sure what's going on with their marketing. They lost it. They lost the source. How do you make a brand that's so exclusive? Like, you know, I understand the marketing in today's age where everyone wants inclusivity, but
not everybody can be included.
They lost their essence once they started including everyone. You get what I'm saying? You can't really say much about it because if they're not inclusive, they'll get hate for it.
I know she's
but now they are being inclusive, they're getting hate for it. So it's like, what do you do exactly? I feel like Victoria's Secret should have stayed the way they originally were. Like, to have wings, to be a Victoria's Secret model, it was a big deal. The only reason why Savage X Fenty is doing well is because Rihanna started it being inclusive in general. You got to be inclusive in the beginning in order to make it work. I know some people will disagree, but they should have stayed the way they were.
I think this is all because skinny is back in. Right now, every celebrity, every influencer, and every woman seems to be wanting to be skinny and thin again. At a time when body positivity was on the horizon, so was being thick and curvy and curvaceous and having a big buttocks. And as of now, it seems like everybody is trying to just be very small. As we all know, Ozempic is on the streets like crack was back.
Hold on. We stop this right here. I want your natural body. If you naturally thicker in the tatas and the... Yes. I don't want no BBLs. Natural body. I want you a natural... Don't be doing no BBLs, bro. I don't like skinny women. Too skinny. Like, if you skinny with a little bit of, nah, I can't even do that because you like a stick. Wouldn't be able to do that. I need a little bit of meat on there, like how I like my chicken and my ribs. A lot of bit of meat on there, the bone. Oh God, that's just how I am.
Back in the 80s. Everybody seems to be on Ozempic. I am calling it Ozempic because I don't want to say its full name, though y'all all know what I'm talking about now, but I don't want to further promote it. But yeah, I know quite a few people that are on Ozempic or that want to be on Ozempic, and there are celebrities that have been alleged to be on Ozempic due to them losing so much weight. So with skinny being back in
like
2024, that means the early 2000s beauty and body standards seem to be coming back. We're seeing low-rise jeans. We're seeing super crop tops. We're seeing the pushing of working out, taking your supplements, eating clean, going to workout classes, Pilates. All of this stuff is like on the high right now. And when was Victoria's Secret fashion show and Victoria's Secret super popular? Back in the early 2000s. And not only that, plastic surgery, filler, Botox, that is all in right now. So I feel as if we're in a very vain society. We've never necessarily left, but I feel like it's back on a very heightened end where people are just trying to look good. And Victoria's Secret literally represented people looking dead good. So I'm not shocked that so many people have been asking for Victoria's Secret to make a comeback when y'all literally pushed them away because they were not adhering to the new era of the body positivity movement. But like I said, I'm not surprised. And we always want what we don't have. So I think now with Victoria's Secret fashion show taking a seat back for 6 years, well, almost 6 years, I am not surprised that people are wanting to see the Victoria's Secret fashion show once again. But you guys, that is the end of today's video. I
wonder if they're gonna have a fat individual on there and people gonna complain, what the fuck is this? Who is this fat ass on here? That is not what we want for Victoria's Secret. I mean, body positivity and everything, but not for Victoria's Secret. Send her fat ass over to Fenty. We want these skinny, Coca-Cola shaped supermodels. What do people like that? Crazy.
Just want to know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you guys feel as if the Victoria's Secret fashion show is making a comeback due to skinny being back in? Do you want the Victoria's Secret fashion show to make a comeback? How did it impact you? Let's get the discussion going on in the comments down below. Please be sure to check out HelloFresh. I will be leaving them linked down below as well. Join my Patreon if you guys want to join the book club, and be sure to follow me on all my social media accounts. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love and I appreciate you all so much, and I will see you all in my very next video. Love you guys. Bye.
Shout out to Tony Brienne. That was dope as hell. On God. And guess what? I'm about to get off because I'm gonna edit some videos for the live stream. So I appreciate y'all for signing through the I appreciate y'all for sliding through the live stream. I shall be back on tomorrow. I will not love you, or possibly, I have no idea. Tomorrow. Goodbye.